Imagine you're a product manager for a grocery store. Um, how can you better serve your customers' need? So, some background knowledge. You see the store sales decline, and there are like a lot of competitors like Blue Apron, like meal prep apps. They you can like prep with instructions. And also there are like platforms like Instacart and other ones. So how, as a product manager for a grocery store, how can you better serve people's need and improve your sales?
Thanks for the question. So let me just have some of the let me just wrap it up with like 1 minute. I may come up with some of the clarification questions. Does it sound good? Mhm. So here I have some of the questions. So the first one will be, am I assuming with any of the grocery store within the market, such as for the Safeway or Walmart, or is there any of a specific one you're perceiving this?
You can assume like you can choose one of them and assume you are the product manager. I don't have a preference.
Okay, got you. And also the second one, when referring with the stock revenue decreases, are we seeing about, especially for this one, I mean, I would just assuming with the Walmart, because this will be one of the largest grocery store across within the whole US. And do we see about decrease within the all countries? Like, do we see any of the specific decrease in any of the states? And how long does it last for?
Uh, um, it's pretty much like when there are more like competitors and meal prep apps coming out, and also platforms like Instacart coming out, we just see our sales decline. But it is not like a immediate decline. It is like gradually we don't have any like booster anymore. So I would want you to figure out if you can find any opportunities to go to mind for us to further improve our sales.
Okay, and also the decline here are referring to also the overall stocks where they have about revenues and also the stocks. We are seeing about less of the revenues and increase of the stocks still being in inventory, right?
Yeah, you can assume that.
Okay, got you. And one last questions from this one, are we thinking about to take about these questions or at least we seeing about more revenues flowing into each of the stores and like how much of timelines you were thinking on that? Would it be like immediately within 1 or 2 months, some of things within inside, or it will be more in a granular timelines like 6 months or annually?
Mm. Um, I don't have a preference. I think it also depends on your solution. Um, yeah, I will refer to you to prioritize.
Okay, got you. And let me just wrap it up with my answers with some of the structures inside, and it may take like 1.5 minutes. That sound good?
Good.
Okay, so I will, here's the outline that will be given from there. I will give like a brief summary on what Walmart does and currently we see in the inside market and also the competitive market, what we have inside. After that, I may come up with some of the pinpoints where the customers, especially where in the app side, what they're thinking on from there. And also I will come up with the user segment and solutions and briefly go through with the user journey. And if we got the time, we can go through the road mapping and some of the business related opportunity inside. Does it sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so within the summary within inside Walmart here, we are trying to known for offering a wide variety of the products with actually low prices and easily and convenient to be reached, referring to our super centers and hypermarkets inside. Currently, within the inside market, we have the competitor with Target and also other local markets that provide about daily groceries and goods towards the customers. And also within the competitive markets now, we're having some of the merging of the apps, such as for the Instacart, Grubhub ones, and recently we were seen as the competitor inside. So within the pinpoint here, I will actually need about 30 seconds or 1 minute to wrap it up, and I can show about the screen. Does it sound good?
Yep.
Mm. And let me share with the screen from here. Let me know if you can see the about screen. Okay, so basically from the pinpoint here, I navigate on about three, actually 4 points within inside, and that's from my daily observations and also my discussions previously with any of my friends. And here I will just summarize about the user segment where I see from there based on the cities and also sports zones in some of the suburb areas. So the first one will be definitely hard to navigate in what you need. So here I'm referring towards to the as we mentioned about if one of the customers they went into the stores or using about their apps within the as I mentioned about super centers or hypermarkets as Walmart, we have many of the categories and also the detailed categories. It provides a comprehensive experience overall. But nowadays, people are just trying to navigating or buying some of the daily goods or stuffs, and it brings them about concerns of driving more times consuming inside, and they don't have much of the time after work or during the weekend want to spend within the market with lots of people judging rushing inside. So the concern or pinpoint here referring to a city will be the time to consuming with the market becoming longer, including with the parkings, including with the overall checkout time, and also the small market stores they were short of the goods due to the logistic concerns. And also, when they was trying to browsing through one of the items they want to buy, and when they reach out to the stores, finding about the designated like shelf want to pick up this goods, you still cannot be finding about their ideal ones. So you bring about really bad experience overall towards to the our app and also within the Walmart in-store experiences. And lastly, within side, we always to say that we want to offering about low prices, but now because we have lots of merging sources of the appearing apps, such as for Instacart, or there will be coupons from Temu, or even from the Amazon's groceries. We could not guarantee we are always about the prices being the lowest, and if, such as losing about the mirrors during the like a competitive and like a fights. So here are some of the summarize of the pinpoints and navigating through that. Does it sound good? And I will pause it here to see if you have any of the questions.
Yeah. I have one question about
Mhm,
your first pain point. You're saying hard to navigate on what is
mhm.
like in need. Are you talking about like in the store or out like on the apps?
So it's basically about 2 points. The first one is basically to turn their interest into a good or good here in the what we call in commerce will be SKU. It's referring towards one of the items with a specific color or specific sizes inside. So this is the first one like processes inside. So here what we're seeing from the app and also in the store will be if I want to buy a medium sizes white t-shirt, our search algorithm in the Walmart will not be accurately comparing with like Instacart or in the Amazon, vice versa. So and also in the in-store experiences, there will be some of the designated local stores is provided about this experience, such as from there. So the interest of the from the interest towards to the good, the navigation part, we are providing about little bit blurry inside comparing with the competitors. So that's the first point. And also, as I mentioned about when we say about when they picking up one deciding to buy something from the what we saw or browsing towards to the like a decision part. This part in the app we are showing about a little bit long availability or long processing time because when you log into the Walmart here, unless you have already registered with the Walmart Plus in previously in the first like a browsing and also the e-commerce experiences, you need your more information and navigating into the local stores comparing with any other companies who have a centralized warehouse instead. So in these cases, we need to collect more information from the customers, and this may try to prohibited them from buying a goods in the Walmart. So these are the 2 points why saying that it's like a pinpoint.
Okay.
Does this aligned? Mhm.
Yep. Interesting. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Then I need about like 2 minutes to navigating into the user segment, and I will let you know once it's ready.
Yep.
Mhm. So here, I would try to navigate that down from the two ways. The first way would definitely from the city populations, because from the Walmart side, we were trying to have like as many of the stores to coverage about full coverage across the US, but we still want to just simplify here with the city populations. First one was referring to some metropolis like cities, such as for San Francisco, specifically New York City or Boston, etc. The cities here, I would just categorize them would be any of the counties who are nearby with these cities. There are many of the people who are still trying to living with inside, and they were not working in these cities specifically. So in this point where I'm trying to just tackle down with the satellite cities specifically, because they will be covering about more people with inside, as we know from the San Francisco or New York cities. There will be definitely like business people or daily commute people who are just working there but not living there. So this is the one that I want to prioritize with the inside. And also, there's another segment I want to identify from there. I'm trying to summarize what I have as an identity distinguishment. From here, I just want to say about like to try to recognize about one of the customers if they coming towards to the stores, are they being like a customers who are often coming towards Walmart versus not, right? So in this point, I will trying to say that within three categories. First one would be definitely visitors who are not logging into the app between in-store or into the app. That is saying in-store, they will having some of the what we call the like whining about stuffs, but they will not leaving any of the traces with their membership, like or even they are not registering with that. And in the app, they were just using about visitor mode. And second one, we're referring towards to the members who are going to the stores or using the apps at least about one time uh equals or like larger than one times per week, because we are trying to see that whether our app and also our stores try to capture about intention, and also to make sure that they will continuously to go to the what we call the um, the Walmart here. And third one, I try to distinguish that out where they have already subscribed with the Walmart Plus members. That's around $10 per day per month, and it's being covered with the MX ones. We want to exclude it about whether they already being registered inside. So in here, I was actually trying to just like prioritize about the first category and the second category, and excluding about what Walmart Plus here, because they are the stimulized people and also customers who already have the usage with our app and also our in-store experiences. That said, sounds good. And any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm,
So I understand you are doing segmentation based on how sticky they are with the Walmart
mhm.
ecosystem.
Yep.
Um, but back to our prompt, we are
Mhm,
saying that the sales decline because of
mhm.
meal prep apps coming out,
Yeah.
also Instacart, right? Like
Mhm,
platforms like Instacart coming out.
mhm.
Do you think that these user segments are the people who switch from Walmart to the competitors because of these changes?
Um, Yes, that's actually a good question. So I would say about two things actually. So that's actually like a simplified question from the demand and supply side. When we're talking about when the customers they were flowing towards the overall market. Nowadays, everyone will buying about groceries. Let's assume about 10 people is buying about grocery each of the days. We were not saying about Instacart who are being invented and Grubhub being invented. That number will be inflated towards like 20 people buying about grocery store. It's just turning about their existing behavior into the online behavior, right? So that is saying if we see about any of the customers who have already have the interest with insight about like buying about stuff in stores, we want to still being capture about intention to buy in the stores or within our specific apps, like inside. Then it's like it's a great way where we can get a kickoff from there. But I still understanding that there will be like a gap where we do not capture the insight. So if that's the case, is I may come up with like a solutions and trying to tackle that part down too.
Okay.
Okay, so with the solution here, I may need to take about 2 to 3 minutes to reorganize from there, and I will let you know once it's ready. Okay, so here are some of the solutions we have, and I come up with like three trying to tackle that down, and especially incorporate about marketplaces apps nowadays has been inflated and trying to seize about market too. So the first one is really broad ideas within side, as I mentioned about nowadays we have many of the stores within the US across from all. Previously, these have become a mirrored within side, but now it's actually become some of things we burden as the inflated about a worker course inside. So we decided actually with inside we have like ideas to turn the stores as a hub. launching about service as a grab and go service. It's not specifically towards the app, but also with the in-store design that we would like to launching from there. So basically, when we trying to order something from our app or in with the with Instacart or Grubhub like third-party apps, basically you will just order about things and you can choose from that whether you want to pick it up or you want it delivered from there, right? Or want to reserve it. So it's still being a long latencies from where you place the orders towards your pickup. Normally, the waiting time will be 1 or 2 hours. But why do we use about it like AI powered recently to analyze about what the members like in the local stores what they buying about most, right? Or buying about like the stuffs that they buying more often within like 1 week time or 2 week times and putting about shelves in designated areas. And we call this like about grab and go services. People who are just picking up or driving through within the Walmart, they can directly using about these services. They don't need to look into the stores to serving about all the things or just waiting from the grab and help waiting from like the third application to deliver about the services. They can always being like a commuted between their work to their home towards a local or closest Walmart stores and buying that within 2 or 3 minutes. So this one will be really a good services we can thinking about to help about customers to buy about daily needs things within site. So I will pause it here to see if you have any of the questions. Okay, the second one will be more into what we call the e-commerce or the ERP systems. As I'm not being an expert, and feel free to judging any of the things you thinking of need to be improved. So here will be actually a real-time stock or inventory calculation based on the in-store or app. These are more related with the AI powered insight. So there are definitely some of the experience from mine where you want to buy a grocery or vegetables or some of the missing side because Walmart here we have many of the items and category inside. You know, if we want to buy 1 box of the eggs, you can thinking about there are 20 result or 30 result popping up from there. In some of mine, it's really being distinguished in the system, but they look almost the same. So how can we providing about accurate inventory calculation based on our experiences? From now, what the options will be you choose about one thing and there's likely that it will be out of inventory. So you may choose another two things as an alternative selections when our clerks were picking up about the goods. So what we want to tackle down here will be we have the calculation about inventory or stocks or placing about what you have in the budget in overall, thinking about from the X or just saying about like 3% of the goods, sorry, 3 people's dinners, we can within the AI we can automatically calculating about what the vegetables or how many of the pieces of onions you want to buy from there and choosing about the lowest price from there. So this will be providing about this was actually empowered about our local stores inventories, not to saying that hey we have some of things still being in stock for long times and our store revenue has been decreased. This will actually provide tools to our customers to directly free their bandwidth into browsing through any of the things on their apps because now and then if you're seeing about from buying about foods and grocery is specifically it's been headache. So also we were thinking about to sharing about API with a designated partner inside. That is saying we want the customers coming into the grocery store to log in the Walmart apps more often and register towards the members, but that's not being absolute. We also welcome about any of the customers who are using about our third party apps, but when they were trying to like looking into the Walmart versus Safeways, they always being sure about trying with the Walmart, we can have like a shorter with the turnover times, but also with more accurate inventories and not to bother them in the later times. So this is the second function we see inside, and I will pause it here to see if you have any other questions. And the third one would be more interestingly, that was I seen from the last year during the CES when I was attending about Instacart, their booth. So what it was being provided about will be nowadays you're using about shopping cart. I'm not sure whether you're still going to Walmart or some of the markets more often, but they were providing about the shopping cart will have a LCD screens and you can directly log into your account and it will be providing about two things. The first thing is it will be any of the things you put it into the shop cart. You don't need to go into the checkout counter because there's a cam directly scanning about all the items and you can directly pick it up or ramp it up towards your car. So that's the first thing. But also the second thing will be if any of the things they were trying to say that, hey, I want to buy about 2 carrots today, and I want to buy about organic carrots, but still today there's like another options from the carrots in another brands. They have the low prices and it just being imported today. We will recommend to say that would it be alternative solutions that you have, but also we can empower about the ads abilities inside. So that is saying we should have about similar shopping experience with like an enhanced shopping cart with inside. That's definitely involving with the hardwares to develop within about shopping cart. And another thing will be we can having about we can like empower about the accessibility with inside within Walmart because Instacart, Grubhub, all these ones they can have the about ranking, searching abilities. Why they have so much of the enhanced about experience in the searching and also ranking and also ads because they have more behaviors collected from the users. Although now after cookie era, we are not being allowed or to have any of the cookie inside, but still the portrait and also how many people were trying to you are trying to buy in the grocery with and how often that you have. These are the pivotal information and not harming about your privacy can contributing about the Walmart increase in the revenues and overall like install experiences. So these are the three solutions that have trying to tackle that down.
Got it.
And I will pause it here to see if you have any other questions.
Yeah, which one do you think can increase the most sales?
Yes. So actually, if we're saying about like 6 months is about the timelines within inside, I believe the first one will be actually sorry, the second one will be increase about sales most dramatically because thinking about that will be not contributing towards our in-store with the inventory with our app, but also with the third party like partners, they will see about more accurate inventory from there and building about confidence from the customers to buy in the Walmart. So this one will be showing about dramatically increase and also contributing towards the most increase inside. But I believe from that after 3 to 6 months times, I will believe with the grab and go services will contributing to or equal towards the second one because that needs about time for more development and improvement in the in-stores, especially the shelving across in about the satellite cities. So that may take off times because we need to reorganize about what we have in the grab and go services, especially from the drive-through and pickup. So yeah.
Okay.
Mhm,
I have one question. If
mhm.
you're thinking about, let's say, the third-party apps,
Yeah.
because Walmart Plus might have their own
Mhm,
supplier on the API. Uh,
mhm,
but let's just say third-party apps, like why? Let's say Walmart is now on Instacart, right?
mhm,
And why is Instacart not using the same like API supplier for all the grocery store
mhm.
and let the grocery store figure out your stock situation?
Yes, I think that will be a really great question. So the first thing will be definitely from the market shares from there. Walmart, comparing with still being the largest or number one like market share throughout the whole US. So we have the capabilities to saying about let's say about each of the stores have around 10,000 or more than 10,000 items from there and how they can manipulate about all the items right inside that will be really important and pivotal to see from there. We we want to ensure about our like a calculation will be accurate enough and trying to provide from there. And also definitely the second thing will be what we have as like stock and also in the company in the each of the stores is like a secret sources. We treat it as our marketplace, right? Same with Safeway, same with same with like Costco's, because we have the warfares or stores inside. We see in e-commerce, we see like Instacart or Grubhub. It's more like a centralized places they can gather about gather about things. They don't provide about things. How can they guidance or ensure about data flowing from A companies versus B companies? They have about data like privacies and also guidance procedures inside. We always want to ensure about all the data, especially with the in-stores, to be safe enough. And also third pointly, where we also want to building about API from our side, because or whatever we have on the APIs, we can still be like navigating or negotiating with the Instacart to say that, hey, any of the pivotal or some of the like mandatory socket that you need from there. After then from there, we have our design team or like app teams we can designate from there. And some of the creative like functions, such as from the keys selections or keys inventories, we can provide about insights during our like biannually sessions with like Instacart and sharing to say that, hey, from our observations, we noticed that key selections will be also trending like categories. And with Instacart, you don't have on that. So we will like recommend you to have some of the new verticals inside. So that's why the reasons I think this should be leading from the Walmart, not from the Instacart, like the third party apps.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, so lastly, I will thinking up to go through with the road mapping and also some of the business related ones. As previously, I was more cooperating with the product marketing managers and some of the sales within the ads. So these some of the areas where I can foresee about the obstacles within the solution, and I will adjust that out. But before on that, I may take about 2 to 3 minutes to organize from here. Does it sound good?
Um, I think
Or,
we
mhm.
can drop the role mapping.
Oh yeah.
Um we can just talk about what, like, let's say you choose the second solution right
Mhm.
now, and
Yeah.
how do you measure success for the solution?
Oh, sure. Yeah, then give me like a 30 seconds to wrap it up from here. Does it sound good? Mhm. So yeah, here I was thinking about the North Star metric will be basically about the order number within the stores or within the actually the order number within the stores and like below about X dollar spent has been increased. So here I was saying about order number are related towards to the orders within stores, order within apps, or let's say about if you're using about Instacart or GrabHub, this order will be also counting towards to that. When I say about less or equal towards like S dollars, that's a benchmark. Let's say about $100. That's saying about they were buying about grocery goods instead of buying about any of the large items, not considered as like grocery goods. So this I will be considered about North Star metrics to measure about success within the real-time stock inventory calculation. So I will deconstruct that into the 6 months timelines because I believe that will be more feasible inside. So the first one will be I will try to navigate into towards the existing algo team, whether they were from the search, whether they've already with insight on the recommendation or brands insight. We will leverage it on their existing frameworks to see whether we can have a more accurate inventory calculation inside. Because nowadays it's more relying on what we have to say that, hey, we have a rough numbers when the clerk check about in the stores and whether that's been out of stock or still being inventory. So there's a double check from that. We want to make sure that the double check here comes from the in-store like clerks has been minimized. So that's about first one. And from here, I would like to think about forcing challenge will be how we make sure about the the real-time inventory precisely will be good enough, right? Because if we now have like about 70 percentage of the accuracy, 70 percentage are referring towards to the number of the people of checking. Sorry, um, number of the people who are reporting that will be out of stock versus number of times like we have overall the numbers. So this accuracy should be increased from there, but how much from there should be like a significant within the statistics. So that's something we need to judging from there. And also in the first one, I didn't list it out there from here because of the limit of time. But also the second one that I'm thinking of will be we're trying to navigating and also talking with our designated partners and trying to say that, hey, we are not trying to steal from your market, right? We are trying to more collaboration, trusting in the Walmart, and we will provide a more accurate real-time stocking. It will free the bandwidth where you deliveries like people's versus customers to have about online communications. And here they will also to tracking about whether their like complaints and also tickets inside will be decreased because now and then people are being mad because we have like out of stock in the stores and the grocery people help them to pick up something alternative without telling about them. So this is about the fresh phase two. And third one, third phase is more approaching towards like 5 months already. Now we will having a more accurate algorithm in overall. And also we have like a cooperate with the partners inside. So this is the time where we're thinking about to say that, hey, do we need to relying about the stock inventory here towards a more broader like a broader like ranges because previously we were just focusing on the satellite cities and also with the members and also visitors who are not using about apps. Do we forcing about these ones can be facing towards other stores for a more coverage insight. So this is how I thinking about from the road mapping point and some of the challenges I may forcing inside.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um,
And I will stop here to see if you have any questions. If you have, I can emphasize them more, but if not, should we
no,
stop here or? Mm.
here. How do you feel about your answer?
Well, it's really a, a not common question inside. So overall feels about this question will be really challenging because it's more it's involved with the application, especially from the delivery side, but also you have merging with the e-commerce and also stocking side. From some of good part, I will being really comprehensive in the answering side, but in some of points, such as especially when you emphasize about do I miss about the Instacart or marketplace apps inside? That's the part where I should be emphasizing more in the first part, especially in the pain point, right? So that's the first part. And also, especially within the user segments for the identity distinguishment, should I also in like incorporate it to say that, hey, do we forcing about list of the users? How many of them are using about Walmart app versus Instacart? We can always launch it about like small scale of the user questionnaires at first. If that's not the cases, we can turn the direction into another site. So yeah, overall feels like I should be covering about main point, but there's rooms for improvement.
Yep, you're pretty on point. And
Mhm.
also I just found you're very nervous because there are too many people in the Zoom. Uh,
Yeah, probably. And also just caught about a little bit flu yesterday. So
because
yeah.
you literally speak slower when you are reflecting your answer versus
Mhm.
like you are actually answering this question.
Mhm.
When you speak slower, it is easier for the interviewer to follow.
Mhm.
So definitely like in terms of how you communicate, speak slower, and pause between ideas.
Mhm.
And also you want to like tell a story to the interviewer, right? If
Yeah.
this is a pain point, you want the interviewer to imagine the user story with you. So
Mhm.
you want to make sure that you are telling a story, you are seeing the interviewer's reaction. You want the interviewer to follow your thought and think
Mhm.
with you, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you are speaking so fast, and I spend most of the time trying to follow you. Uh,
Yeah.
so that is one tip. Um, Second one, I think you're really on point on you should dive deeper into the prompt earlier because
Mhm.
this is a consumer problem,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
Walmart have so many partnerships. Walmart is so big. It
Mhm.
is very hard for you to focus on all of them. You previously, when you talk about pinpoint, you were trying to phase it out, right? There are so many
Mhm.
phases when it comes to user's
Mhm.
journey. So you want to like talk about different phases. This question is too big if you don't
Mhm.
dive deeper into like why
Yeah.
we're declining, right?
Mhm.
So I think it will be easier for you to dive deeper in the clarifying question. For example, like if you are seeing revenue decline, right?
Mhm.
Are we not seeing new users coming or the existing users are churning? Right?
Mhm.
So that could narrow it down into, oh, maybe we now should focus on the real-time inventory calculation because our existing users are churning. They thought it is in stock, but we don't have anything in our inventory,
Mhm.
right? That's the bad experience for them to churn. If it is new user not coming, then we have to think about whether we have enough like whatever paid ads, right,
Mhm. Yeah.
to sign up for Walmart Plus. Whether we have good partnership with Instacart, right? Why do Instacart put, let's say, Whole Foods on the first screen, but not Walmart, right?
Mhm.
So we probably want to talk about partnership there. So you want to narrow the question really down at the beginning. Um,
Mhm.
and also, we talk about the people who are training are going to a meal prep app or they're going to like Instacart, right? If you
Mhm.
think about the user journey of both of these apps are trying to make this user journey more convenient.
Mhm.
And who are the people that need a more convenient experience, right?
Mhm.
I don't see my mom need to go to Instacart to buy anything,
Mhm.
right? So you want to maybe narrow the user segmentation a
Yep.
little bit down earlier too, because it's too big of a problem for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so that is just tips for you to answer the question better. I saw in the chat that people were saying to put segmentation before the pinpoints. I agree with them.
Mhm.
It is very hard for you to let the interviewer relate to your pain
Mhm.
points if you don't have a segmentation already ready. So if you
Mhm.
are picking a specific segment, now I can imagine myself in those people's shoes, right? And think about the
Mhm.
user journey that I'm going with.
Mhm.
So that is just helping you to tell the story better. Plus, Walmart is a difficult one.
Yeah. I got you.
Because when I was answering the question, I pick Whole Foods. Because like if you pick Walmart, first they have too big of an ecosystem, right? And
Mhm.
second, it will always be a problem. Like if you're improving Walmart Plus, let's just say like we didn't like narrow it down at the beginning. We just want to improve Walmart Plus. I don't even know like whether Walmart Plus volume is comparable to Instacart.
Hmm.
Let's just say like Walmart have like 100 million we have user,
Yeah.
right? Instacart only have 10 million. Then we were like, yes, more improvement on my platform is gonna screw you up, right? If Walmart Plus only have 1 million we have user, while Instacart have 100 million, whatever I do on my own platform doesn't even matter anymore, right? So I don't know the stats. So you probably, if you have any assumption, you want to put the assumption in the hat too. The interviewer don't really care. You can just say like, oh, well, let's assume Walmart Plus has more volume than Instacart, so we can focus
Hmm.
on improving Walmart Plus. In my case, I'm like damn confident that Amazon.com have more traffic than Instacart,
Yeah.
so it's easier for me. Um, and you don't have a specific stage that you are focusing on. Um, so you pointed out at the pain points point, but you didn't like pick one of them to focus on later. So that will make your prioritization even harder.
Hmm.
Because you don't know the specific volume in different stages, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna make your life more difficult. Um, and besides that, oh, I agree with the chat that you need to
Hmm.
talk more about what are the meal prep apps doing and like what are the Instacart doing, right?
Hmm.
If let's say meal prep apps are sourcing all the goods from Walmart, then we won't have a revenue decline, right?
Hmm.
So we can also talk about what is the potential partnership there and what we could provide to make their experience better and make it a win-win situation.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all my feedback.
Yeah. So yeah, why I'm not choosing about Whole Food because I have been there for 1 year already. So that's the two key thing. The recently one that I go into will be Walmart, but as I cash out with a cash order for the IRS tax returns. Yeah, just
Walmart
kidding
has
from
a
there.
lot of
But
traffic, and also they have this principle of making their like price lowest, right?
mhm,
So you can also say that if like platforms like Instacart have like in general platform-wise discount, right? If you like do Instacart like if you buy Instacart like over I don't know I've never used Instacart, I'm just like making this up. If you have a deal of like more than $100, then we are gonna give you 20% off in the next deal, right? If the platform is gonna give discount like this to attract more users,
mhm,
or like Instagram is gonna say like if you refer your friends and share your order to a bunch of your friends, we're gonna give you discounts next order. Then they are basically give discount to all of the stores
mhm,
instead of like you, right? So you want to consider that as one of the factors. Also, the meal
mhm,
prep apps, right? Like the reason why people use meal prep is because it is exactly calculated to the specific meal, right? When
mhm,
you go to groceries, you don't know if I want to make a pasta, how much basil, how much tomato, right? Like always need to do the calculation yourself. Now you don't need to.
mhm,
Um, but so it is gonna be like less waste, maybe less like food going bad, etc. Can we do the same, right?
mhm,
Can we make our users' life easier? If you're saying that volume is comparable with all the meal prep, most of the meal preps, my understanding is still at a very early stage, and they're like
mhm,
mid-sized
yeah.
company, not as big as Walmart. Then you can say that we can provide the same thing as for those guys, right?
Mhm,
So yeah, I think in the early stage you need to discuss what is the landscape, what is the volume comparison, and how do you want to like narrow this question down to focus on one single area.
mhm.
So you can just like show your skill set, show your prioritization, make your life easier.
Yeah, sure.
Any questions from the audience?
I mean, I want to ask JJ, like, you said all the like evaluation for Hao Ming's product interview, right? As an interviewer at this stage, like, would you give a definite answer of, passing or
No.
how would you grade or would you even disclose that?
Yeah, you guys are making my life harder. Um, I already don't have enough people coming to my live because I give too critical feedback. But it depends on which company. I think if it is Meta in this point at this point, I will say no. Because there are different companies looking at different things, right? Like, for example, the reason why I'm so focused on whether I can relate to your pain point, because I'm a freaking consumer product product manager, right? And Meta will think there is similarity. So yeah, but depends on the company. Other companies might have different criterias.
I appreciate that, JJ, and sorry for put you on the spot, Haoming.
Yeah,
No worries. Yeah.
don't come to my live next time, mate. You're just,
I'm also I'm only like already too afraid to open my camera, JJ.
Any other questions? Damn, that's the only question. You guys are brutal. Okay. So thanks, Hao Ming. Thanks everybody for attending. And I'll see you guys in the following weeks.